Welcome back, all of you, to the online class of biology. So, in the last classes, we have studied about the various processes like translation and transcription, isn't it? And the way by which the expression of genes are taking place. How the expression of genes taking place in the form of protein by producing proteins, isn't it? They produce proteins and thereby they control the character. For example, we have studied in the last chapter why the plants are becoming tall due to the presence of the gene capital T, isn't it? Because capital T may be able to produce some hormones that make the plant to grow taller, isn't it? Likewise, okay, so by producing certain proteins, the genes are controlling the characters. So every time all the genes and their expression is needed? No. Okay, so even though the length of the DNA, human DNA, is very long, isn't it? We have studied it is 6.6 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. That much long it is. But still, it is all the genes of the DNA are not needed for the expression. All the time, all these genes are not expressed, isn't it? Only few genes which are necessary, that only is expressed. Other genes are just kept likewise. That actually makes more mutation. Okay, that will be helping in the process of mutation and evolution. And among this, all the genes are not expressing every time. Okay, so all the genes may not be expressing every time. Only few genes are needed to be expressed every time, and that kind of genes are known as housekeeping genes. Okay, housekeeping genes. And the other genes whose expressions are not every time needed, okay, they'll be what expressed only when they are needed. Understood? So this mechanism is done at different levels. All the regulation of gene expression is done in different steps or in different levels. So in eukaryotes, okay, it can be done in the transcriptional level. Transcriptional level means while formation of primary transcript or mRNA takes place, or in the processing level, that is in the regulation of splicing. Do you remember what is splicing? The removal of introns, isn't it? Then transport of mRNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm. Okay, and also in the translational level. So is it clear? That is the regulation of gene expression in eukaryotes can be taken place in different levels. Okay, so they are in the transcriptional level. Okay, then second is in the processing level. Third, in the transport of mRNA from nucleus to the cytoplasm, or in the translational level. So these are what different what levels at which the transcription, the expression of genes can be regulated. In a cell, they are expressed to perform a particular function, or they may be able to produce a set of functions. For example, there is a enzyme known as, okay, beta galactosidase. Okay, so we have expressed that, studied that there are different levels in which the gene expression can be controlled, isn't it? So now we are going to give one example. Okay, in prokaryotes, that is beta galactosidase. It's an enzyme. What is it? Beta galactosidase. And this enzyme is needed for converting lactose. Do you remember lactose? Lactose is a disaccharide containing two monomers. What are they? Galactose and glucose. So this lactose will be splitted into two molecules known as what? Galactose and glucose by an enzyme known as beta galactosidase. Is it clear? So if there is no lactose around, means in the medium of this E. coli, they need not to produce beta galactosidase. Is it clear? That is, if any other, this is one what carbohydrate source for them, isn't it? Lactose. So if they are getting any glucose or any other carbohydrate, they need not to utilize it. And if they are forced to utilize this, how they'll be forced to utilize? If you are growing them in a medium containing only lactose as the carbohydrate medium, okay, or if it is abundantly available for them, so at that time they'll be forced to use what? Lactose. So if they want to use lactose, they need what? Beta galactosidase. Okay. Then this beta galactosidase, they'll convert, this beta galactosidase will convert lactose to galactose and glucose. Is it clear? And then they metabolize it. Okay. So you can understand from this the physiological or environmental conditions also can regulate the expression of genes. This is an example, okay, where the conditions or the environment, okay, can also control the gene expression. Is it clear? How it is clear? That is, if lactose is there, then only the lactose metabolizing enzyme, which is that beta galactosidase, is needed to be produced. Otherwise what will happen? The cell will not produce beta galactosidase. Is it clear? They will not produce beta galactose. So the environment where this E. coli bacterium is living, isn't it, whether it is having lactose or not, that determines the expression of the gene which is producing the beta galactosidase. Is it clear? Likewise, the development and differentiation of embryo into adult organism is also the result of a coordinated regulation of expression of several sets of genes. Means in certain stages, some enzymes, some genes only will express, and that kind of genes may express only in one part of the life cycle. Okay. And they'll be quiet. Then in the next time another group of genes might be active. Likewise, it's what to say, the coordinated regulation of expression, okay, that leads to the development and differentiation of an embryo. Okay. In prokaryotes, transcriptional initiation, that is, transcription is what? Formation of RNA from DNA, isn't it? Transcription of what do you remember? The transcriptional unit, okay, which is having a promoter region, structural genes, and the terminator region, isn't it? So in the from there only what happen? RNA will be formed. So let's see one example. So here, see, you can see a I gene, that is the regulator gene. Then you can see a promoter region, and these are the structural genes. Okay. And here terminator region is not shown. Now you see there is another region known as the operator region. Okay. Operator region, this is one example of a operon. Okay. These operator regions can produce certain proteins. Okay. These proteins may what switch on the expression of the gene, or sometimes it may means it will switch off. Okay. Switch off the expression of gene if it is suppressing, or if it is what not allowing the gene to express, structural gene to express, then that protein is known as a repressor protein. Okay. Repressor protein. And if this product of this gene, which is this region, operator region, oh, you can see here, okay, operator region, if it is producing a protein which is allowing the further structural genes to express, then it will be, that particular protein will be known as the activator genes. Okay. Activator proteins. Is it clear? Here it is what? Repressor protein, because it is not allowing the structural genes to express. Clear? I will explain this once again. So the expression of this gene, okay, the expression of the gene is what controlled by the protein produced by the operator gene. Okay, the operator gene will produce a protein, and the accessibility of promoter region, okay, of a prokaryotic DNA is actually regulated by the interaction of proteins with the what, with the sequence, okay, known as operator sites. So the protein will be produced by the which one means regulator genes, and the interaction of this protein with the operator region, okay, this results or that controls the expression of the structural genes. Okay, so that is one speciality of operator site. What it is? Operator site is actually what, controlling the expression of the structural genes by the interaction of a protein produced by the regulator gene. Is it clear? Then you can always see that this promoter operator region will be adjacent to the promoter elements. So this is the promoter region. Okay, what is promoter region? Do you remember? It is the site where transcription starts, isn't it? The RNA polymerase come and binds to here, isn't it, for the expression of this. So you can see that another region is just present in between the promoter region and the structural genes. Understood? So their position is adjacent to the where, to the promoter region. Okay. Then another speciality is each operon, okay, has its specific operator and a specific repressor. Understood? Each operon means what? This unit, okay, including all this genes like what in the regulatory gene, promoter region, operator, structural, all this together, which is acting as a single unit for the expression of it. Like you can imagine it as a what circuit with what, a switch, bulb, wires, all that, isn't it? So likewise, what they all together is known as operon. What is it? It's a operon. Can you see here? Operon. Okay, so it's an operon. So what is it? It's a operon. Operon, it is operon. Okay, operon. Okay, operon. So operon is what? It's a single unit of DNA, you can say, which acts as a single unit which controls the production of a particular structural gene. Okay, so in so let's study, okay, lac operon now, which is proposed. Operon, I told what is operon, which is, okay, containing it is a polycistronic structural gene regulated by a common promoter, then what, and a regulatory gene. Okay, so that kind of arrangement is known as what, means as a group of genes containing what all, a promoter region, a regulator gene, and it is controlled by that particular unit itself. Okay, so that unit is known as operon. Okay, so such an operon is what, lac operon, and the elucidation of lac operon was done by Jacob and Monod. Okay, Jacob and Monod, they have elucidated the that is Francois Jacob and Jacques Monod. So these two scientists, they could explain what the lac operon, how it works. So let's see how it is working. A lac operon consists of, okay, a regulatory gene, okay, I gene. Can you see? I gene or regulatory gene. Okay, here it is given I because it's a inducer. Okay, it produces a Uh, then three structural genes Z, Y, and A. Okay, Z, Y, and A. These are the structural genes. Okay, then you can see a promoter region and operator region. So this much is constituting what? The lac operon. Okay, so lac operon consisting of what? Inducer gene, promoter, operator, and structural genes. There are three structural genes Z, Y, and Z. A. Okay, Z, Y, and A. Z is producing a protein known as beta galactosidase. What is the function of it? It hydrolyzes lactose into glucose and galactose. We have studied it. Y produce what? Permease. Okay, permease, and this helps lactose to enter into the cells. Lactose will be outside na, outside the cell of the E. coli. Okay, so when there is no other source, lactose only will be the source of carbohydrate, I told. So at that time, otherwise what will happen? Lactose will not enter into the cell. So when there is no other way, no other carbohydrate given as the source, then what will happen? Lactose has to enter into the cell. So this is done with the help of permease, which is the product of this Y gene. Okay, and A helps in the translation process. Okay, that is producing a protein known as transacetylase. Okay, which helps in the translation. Understood? So these are the different structural genes. So mRNA contain what? These mRNA produced from the structural genes will be responsible for the production of all this. Okay, so the genes are these. Okay, the lac operon consisting of all this, and they are producing what? Different kinds of proteins. Okay, the structural genes Z produce beta galactosidase, Y produces permease, and A produces transacetylase. So here lactose is the substrate for the enzyme beta galactosidase, isn't it? And that lactose will regulate the switching on and off of the operon. Okay, lactose is deciding whether these genes products are needed or not, or they control the lactose control the expression of these genes. Okay, so because of this, lactose is known as an means here in this context, lactose is an inducer, isn't it? If inducer is there, then only what will happen? The products of these genes are needed, isn't it? In the presence of inducer, so what happens, we will study. So in the presence of inducer, what is the inducer here? Lactose. What they are inducing? The switching on of the structural genes, isn't it? So in the presence of inducer, what will happen? The I gene, what is that? Inducer gene, regulatory gene, that produces a protein. What kind of protein? It is a repressor protein. Okay, this repressor protein will be produced. This repressor protein will combine with the inducer. What is the inducer? Lactose. And when these two are combining, its conformation will get changed. That will not be able to, as this conformation is changed, this won't be able to go and bind to the operator site. Okay, so operator site is free. So when what happened, RNA polymerase comes and binds to the promoter region, it can smoothly go through this end and can transcribe, and after transcription they produce the products. Is it clear? So this is happening in the presence of inducer. Why lactose is called inducer? Because lactose is inducing the structural genes to produce the product. Is it clear? So how it works? When there is what? Lactose means when the lactose is only the medium for the production, medium of the carbohydrate for E. coli, what happens is the inducer always produce what? This repressor protein. If see here also you can see, if there is no inducer or lactose, then also inducer gene will produce a protein that is known as repressor protein. Why it is known as repressor protein? Because it is going and binding here and not allowing the what? Transcription of this structural genes, isn't it? So when this repressor protein is produced, if lactose is only there, if lactose enter into the E. coli cell, what happens? They will bind to the repressor protein and causes some conformational change so that it cannot go and bind to the operator's region. So the genes will be free. Okay, there is no obstacle in this operator side. So what will happen? The structural genes will be transcribing and then it will be translating into the successive proteins. Okay, now we will take the other condition where there is no inducer, that is happening usually. Okay, so what happened? As usual, this inducer protein is producing the inducer gene is producing the repressor proteins. This repressor protein go and bind to the operator region and block this RNA polymerase to continue or come down. Understood? So because of that, what happened? This will not be able to transcribe. RNA polymerase, even though it binds here, as the position of this operator region is after this promoter region, RNA polymerase cannot move down and cannot transcribe. Okay, this process will not take place here. Why? Here there is what repressor protein and here there is no repressor protein. Why there is no repressor protein? Because inducer, what is the inducer molecule here? Lactose. They bound to this and they prevent the binding of repressor protein to the operator region. Is it clear? So in this way it is controlled. Clear? Lac operon is controlled or it is regulated in this way. Hope you understood this topic very nicely. What we have studied is how the gene expression is controlled. What is gene expression? Means how genes produce their proteins, because genes are controlling all the characters. And if the genes how they control the character? By producing proteins, isn't it? If you are fair or if you are blackish, so all this is due to your genes. So this genes, how they control the character? By producing proteins. Okay, so I told the all the genes may not be expressing every time. Understood? So only few genes, for example, some of the genes that produces respiratory enzymes, that they have to work all through the life, isn't it? If they stop working, then we cannot survive. But some other genes are there which are needed to be expressed only few time. Okay, so how they are controlled? Okay, so that mechanism we have studied here. Okay, is it clear to everyone?